So in this story, we are shown the future, when after the world's population increased a lot, humans left the world and started living on many other planets. As soon as the movie starts, we are introduced to Indy, who tells us that my dad used to be a military officer on Earth. He was an air captain. But during a mission, due to a small mistake of his entire crew was killed. He was accused of having taken drugs during the mission, due to which his mission failed. But because the military did not have solid evidence to prove this, so Indy's dad, that is, Kane, was not punished. He was just fired from the job. But Kane still considered himself responsible for the accident, because of which he went into depression and became an alcoholic. This habit of his also took away his wife from him. After a while, Kane was offered a new job from a company called Exxon, for which he had to leave the Earth and go to another planet. On this new planet, he had to manage his spaceship and also look at the big issues of the company. This company wants to make this planet habitable for humans, for which they were using the raw material of this planet. And to work here, criminals were brought from the world. Indy and Kane were visiting this planet in a spacecraft at this time. When Indy tells her dad, "Mom thinks you accepted this job because you want to run away from all the Earth problems." Hearing this, his mood was a bit bad, but he did not make Indy feel. Then he got off his aircraft with Indy and taught Indy gun shooting. Kane wanted to spend a good time with Indy, after which they both left from here. On the way, he took a lot of food from the bunker made by the Exxon company, and then Kane left Indy in a daycare center on this planet, because he could not keep her in the spaceship. He promised her that whenever you call me in the evening, I will pick you up, and I will spend the weekend with you, after which he comes in his spaceship. Now in this dark night, we are shown a scene outside the planet where big monsters were roaring. On the other hand, on this planet, the jailer informs his headquarters that by mistake, a strange creature has been released from their jail. And also the prisoners. Actually, those creatures were attacking the prisoners. Such prisoners were also becoming like them by getting infected. And in the chaos, all of them were released. The chaos meant that the number of these monsters would increase to a dangerous extent. The next morning, when Kane woke up in his spaceship, he received a lot of messages, some of which were messages from his daughter, which Kane wants to hear. Indy was asking for permission to go out. Before Kane could record his message, the communication system gets blocked. In another compartment of the spaceship, we meet the company's owner, Kane's boss Lennox, who calls a colonel to him and tells him about the incident that happened on his planet at night when a monster from the jail was released and infected more prisoners. Hearing this, the colonel also lost his mind. He knew what could be the result of this, so he advised everyone on the planet to tell this to Lennox so that people can protect themselves. But Lennox was not ready to listen to him because it was all his fault. He says that if we tell everyone the truth, then we will be caught for making humans into monsters illegally. Now, thinking about something, he holds a meeting of all the seniors of the company, including Kane. While hiding his lie from everyone, he says that we will have to put an emergency on the planet soon because a lot of prisoners have escaped from the jail at night who were a victim of some strange virus. In this case, he is also becoming a monster and infecting other people as well. Everyone's life was in danger, so he decided that if the situation does not come under control within 23 hours, then he will immediately destroy this planet with a big blast. Hearing this, everyone standing here panicked, but he told everyone, "You don't have to worry, you will be rescued on time." Worried, Kane first goes to his cabin so that he can contact his daughter, but the signals were still down. Meanwhile, the colonel comes to his room, who looked very scared. Kane first calmed him down and then asked, "What's the matter?" Then the colonel said that Lennox is deceiving us all. The prisoners who escaped from the jail at night, they are not infected with any virus. The truth is that Lennox himself was experimenting to make a monster creature, which was now ready, but could not come under his control, and thus everyone's life was in danger. And now all these monsters were going towards the planet's capital, where people were already living. There were a lot of people there. Everyone's life was in great danger. What was more scary than this was that the person whom this monster had infected would become a monster himself. That's why Lennox has planned to blow up this planet with a bomb. The colonel came here just to tell Kane that your daughter is also in the capital. It's time, before you destroy that city, save your daughter. Kane, listening to the colonel, without wasting time, steals the company's aircraft and leaves to save his daughter. To catch him, Lennox, i.e. his boss, sent more people after him who attacked his aircraft, but somehow Kane managed to get out of there. But unfortunately, his aircraft was now damaged. A little while later, it crashed and Kane fell into the water. As soon as he came out of the water, someone attacked his head and made him unconscious. When he regained consciousness, he saw that a man named Sy had taken him to the gunpoint. He asks him, "I'm Kodo." Kane tells him that he wants to find the infected people, i.e. the prisoners who had escaped from Israel. In response, Sy says, "I am also a prisoner," and the people who were infected. Kane then tells this girl that a nuclear reactor has been installed in the city, due to which this city will be destroyed after 10 hours. He says to Sy, "Please help me so that I can reach the capital and save my daughter." At first, Sy refuses, but when he found out that Kane had access to military bunkers, he agreed to help him, because from the military bunkers, he gets all the food and necessities. Scenes now shift from here to the past, and we are shown how Sy and his other companions managed to escape from the jail. Actually, this whole plan was Sy's. He had a lot of enemies in jail. He was made to do a lot of work. In return, food was also reduced. Sy told his companions that we can get out of this animal's life. Just a small plan. According to that plan, these people fought each other, due to which the soldiers also separated them. Actually, in these small cells, there was also a cell in which there was an emergency trigger system. He knew this, and he just wanted to get there. To reach that trigger system, it was necessary that we fill all those cells. So we all fought, and everyone was locked in those small cells. It wasn't that easy to do all this. When Sy fought with other people beat him so much that he was about to die. And then he was locked in a cell in which laser lights were always on, and that cell was always moving. There was no peace there for a minute. Anyway, the story comes again in the present. When Sy came to a club with Kane, he actually needed a bus to reach the capital city, which he could illegally get from here. When asked about the bus, the attendant here points to a couple who were drunk at this time. Seeing them, Kane says dangerous. He clearly knew that these people were dangerous, but because there was no other option, Kane attacked them. He told them very easily that he just wants to go to the capital city with them. In return, he will give them $2,000. Hearing so much money, these people also agree. Scenes now shift back to the past from here, and the story continues from there when Sy was locked in a strange rotatory cell due to his fight. At the same time, his other companion was locked in a cell that was made in an empty room. There was also a strange creature in this room. This man gets scared seeing this creature. Before he does anything to save himself, this creature attacks him and infects him and turns him into a monster like himself. The jail warden goes to Sy and brings him into the same cage. While going there, the warden tells Sy how that creature attacks him and turns him into a creature like himself. Sy was confused as to why these people were making humans into monsters when the warden tells him that the environment of this planet is very bad. Exxon Company is transforming humans into such monsters so that they become more powerful and are able to survive in any environment. Saying this, he locks him in the cage. Before that, would that creature attack Sy and turn him into a creature? Suddenly, someone opens the door of this room and shoots the creature. It was seen that this was Sy's accomplice who told Sy that Sy's plan worked. In all those small cells, he did not get the emergency trigger due to which all the cells were opened and now all these people were free. Before all these people left the jail, one of his accomplices comes here and gives him bad news. He was the one who not only opened the door, but also freed a monster by mistake. Everyone else knew this, so they all try to run away and that creature follows them. He killed a lot of them, but he managed to escape with Sy in 3 years. These people had come a long way from the jail. These people decide to go to the capital, but Sy says, "If you want to go, go, but I will go to the opera." They both got confused, but Sy was stubborn, so they both left Sy. The scene shifts to the present, and we are shown that Sy and Kane were taken to a strange shop from where Kane buys a lot of weapons in cash. As soon as these people leave with the weapons, huge creatures attack here. The people here try to kill the monsters with their weapons, but they are not successful. After killing a lot of monsters, their bullets ran out and the rest of the monsters tore them apart and killed them. Here we see Kane again again who arrived at the capital while driving with that couple. There was chaos everywhere. People were running around and those creatures were attacking them badly. Everyone tries to save their bus from the creatures and reaches the building where Indy was. Both the couples were killing the creatures with guns so that Kane's job gets easier. When Kane reaches the top, he sees that his daughter's babysitter has been killed. He was scared. He thought that maybe he lost his daughter too. But in that second, he locked himself in the closet to save himself. When Kane sees Indy, he hugs her and makes her meet him. He says that he is a good person who helped me a lot in saving you. That couple was still trying to kill the monsters, but unfortunately, a monster saw them and attacked them. His wife got worried and dragged him into the bus. But Indy knew that he won't survive. He kisses his wife for the last time and dies. On the other side, Kane was trying to leave with his daughter, but he sees that all the roads are blocked by the monsters. Suddenly, Kane gets a card and takes them to the roof and jumps on the bus. When they came inside the bus from the roof, Indy had to escape from here. While driving the bus, they came to a military bunker, because they needed a lot of things which could only be found in a military bunker. Linux also knows that a bus is coming to their bunker. That's why it orders its men to somehow stop the bus or destroy it. Because of this attack, all of them were in panic. They didn't have much to land so that they could be safe from this attack. Despite this attack, that girl keeps driving the bus, but the next attack also destroys the bus. They came close to a monkey. Sy turned around and was shocked to see that Kane and that girl were both killed. The attacks from the aircraft were still not stopping. Now Sy goes to a cave which was the shelter of Indy and Kane. Indy knew this because she had already come here with her dad. They put a code and the door opens. They were about to go inside, but unfortunately, a monster attacked them and attacked Sy. Sy knew that he would be infected, but still, to save Indy, he saved the monster and came to this room with Indy. Indy says, "You are safe, but I will soon turn into a monster. Go away from here. You have your whole life ahead of you." But Indy doesn't leave Sy. She starts talking to him while crying, but in the meantime, her body also starts mutating. The story suddenly goes back to the flashback, and we are shown the time 2 years ago when Sy was a doctor on Earth. That day, an emergency case came to the hospital. Pregnant lady had an accident. The doctors couldn't save her daughter, but they were trying to save her. To save her, Sy was called to the operation theater. There, he saw that the woman was no one else but his wife. He became emotional. His wife was telling him to stay with her. Sy was also standing there, but his wife left. He died. Sy was devastated. He went to the truck driver and killed her. That's why he was in jail. He was shifted from jail to this planet. The scenes shift back to the present when this planet is destroyed by the nuclear reactor. 2 years later, another team comes here to check the bunker where Indy and Sy were. Sy had become a monster. He kills an investigator, but he doesn't kill a lady. We know that they are in spacesuits because of the blast that happened here. This planet is no longer habitable for humans. Whoever comes here has to stay in spacesuits. Just like Indy came to this monster Sy, she was also wearing a spacesuit. She asked a scared girl why she came here. She said that she was an investigator, but she didn't know that the spaceship that came here was going back to Earth. At this point, Indy had a hope. "If you want to stay alive, then take us to that spaceship. You won't tell anyone that a monster is also hiding in that spaceship." She wanted to take Sy with her because he wasn't like other monsters. He didn't attack anyone, even though she didn't want to, but she had to listen to him. In the last scene of the story, we see Indy and monster Sy together. They were very excited to go back to their planet. They held each other's hands, and this story ends here. Thank you.